Hi everyone, it's Steve and Caleb from Brownells, and this week we got a really special show for you. Caleb has lined up a bunch of stuff here to look at, and he's going to explain it in detail, so I'll turn it over to you.
All right, I have, and I haven't told Steve about any of this yet, so he's just, as
I'm
like to
faking
say,
it.
yeah, he's here, so he'll be, his comments and reaction will be as genuine as can be.
We are going to learn together.
All right, so with that being said, what we're going to be taking a look at here are the best suppressor attachment methods. And when I say that, I mean specifically kind of geared towards the AR15. And with that, also, these are mostly my personal opinion, so take that for what it is as well.
I have to deal with that every day.
Yeah, he's used to that, so y'all should probably be somewhat used to it at this point too. But let's just jump right into it.
Jumping.
All right, so let's start with the three, what I consider to be quick detach type stuff. And when I say quick detach, I don't mean like thread on. I mean like they have some sort of mechanism other than threads.
Does anybody do direct thread anymore?
Yeah.
Okay.
People do. Yeah. You don't see it very often on AR-15s, but they're still a thing.
Okay.
So that's one method is direct thread. So Steve just actually, you came out the gate with that one. You didn't even know. No, that's good. That's good. But let's kind of talk about SureFire. Let's just kick it off with some SureFire stuff here. And let me slide this down. I should have had this gun back here. I didn't plan that out well. But anyway, so the SureFire attachment method, and for pretty much everything we're going to cover here, you have a muzzle device that threads onto your barrel, and then you have the suppressor that attaches to the muzzle device, okay? So let's get that out the way. And the SureFire attachment method, basically, all you do is you open up the lock, and then you index, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little notch in there. You index that with your muzzle device. It's usually on the bottom. You slide your suppressor on, and I'll actually just kind of go through it as I talk about it, and I'll do that for all of these. This gun's a little chunky here. This is a Mars H in 308, but this is the exact same with their 5.56 suppressors as well. So you open up your lock here. I'll just use my pinky. All right, and then you just slide it onto your muzzle device. And I like to give it a little twist just to make sure it seats, just like so.
It'll always go on the same way every time.
It goes on the same exact way every time. This is a very, very good mount for point of impact, minimum point of impact shift and return to zero, stuff like that. And then you just twist it, and that's it. It's on there. And to take it off, notice there's a button. It says push. It wants to be pushed, so you push it. And then you unscrew it, and it comes right off.
But you've got excuse me, you've got a system built there that gives you perfect alignment every time?
You do, yeah, because something about this system, something about actually all of these systems, they use some form, if you can see there, Steve, of taper lock.
Right.
So the tapers actually mount up to give you a perfect mount up every single time.
So you don't have to worry about bullet strike?
Nope. As long as you're installing it correctly, and which is, it's really hard not to do it correctly, and of course keeping your stuff cleaned and maintained. Right. You got to keep the mounts actually maintained. When you clean your gun, you clean the mounts, and you don't have to worry about it.
I believe we already have some information on there about how to mount your muzzle device properly.
We do. We have a video on how to prevent your suppressor from getting stuck. So
even better.
That's
even better.
Check out that content. But that's your SureFire right there. I'll set that one aside. Actually, no, I'll leave it on the table. Yeah, it's a great system.
I imagine that's popular with agencies.
Oh yeah,
things
very
like
much
that.
so. Yeah. SureFire has a lot of military and law enforcement contracts, and they prefer that system for a very good reason.
That makes it easy on the armor who has to clean the suppressors.
Yeah, and not only that, so as you can see with this SureFire suppressor, this isn't a hub compatible setup, which means basically you can't change out the mount. It's built onto this suppressor.
Okay.
So if you have another suppressor that you want to put a SureFire mount on, SureFire makes a hub compatible mount that you can put on your favorite hub compatible suppressor.
Oh.
And when I say hub compatible, I just mean the back of the suppressor unscrews and you can put whatever mount you want on it. And hub compatibles an industry standard pretty much for suppressors.
So there are standards in this stuff.
There actually are now, yeah. Used to not be, but now they're pretty standardized. This is a Dead Air RXD that I put a SureFire hub mount on. So this will screw on. I can put this on that same muzzle device. So this will fit any SureFire muzzle device. So really cool option there if you really like this mount, but you don't necessarily want a SureFire can.
Yeah.
You can mix and match.
And if you happen to be a Dead Air fan like I am.
Yes, Dead Air is great. All right, so that covers SureFire. And speaking of Dead Air, let's talk about Dead Air.
Okay.
So Dead Air, for their quick attachment method, I have this one here. This is what they call KeyMo.
Okay.
And it's a similar system, except it uses kind of a spring and ratcheting type system, so you don't actually press any buttons. And as you can see, it also uses a taper lock. So it's going to mount to that taper.
Right.
And that taper is in between your muzzle and the actual lockup portion. So you're not blowing carbon back where your lockup is.
Cool.
So your taper is basically sealing it off. So all you need to do with this is just make sure it's in the open position and slide it on, and you'll have to rotate to get it lined up with the keyway. And then from there, you just tighten it on.
Oh, that's easy.
Like you're screwing it on, yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. And it's on.
Wow.
And to take it off, you literally just twist it
And
off.
it only has to be hand tight.
And it only has to be hand tight,
Okay.
yep. Yeah, if you're doing more than hand tight, then that's
Yeah.
where people run into issue with getting them stuck on there because they do crazy stuff. But yeah, you just put it on there hand tight, on and off.
Okay.
So that's KeyMo. And again, hub compatible mounts, so you can put KeyMo on your favorite suppressor and your favorite firearm. And so this is a Dead Air muzzle device, I believe, but there are multiple companies that make muzzle devices, like
Right.
Forward Controls Design, JMAC Custom. Everybody makes a KeyMo muzzle device, I feel like.
I'm thinking if you shoot it without the suppressor a lot, it might be a good idea to wipe this surface right here down,
Yeah,
the taper.
Yeah,
Just
I'd
to make
say-
sure you got nothing on there.
yeah. I'd say anytime you go to mount your suppressor, just give your taper a quick wipe
Yeah.
and go
Make
from
sure
there.
it's clean and then it'll align properly.
Yes, as you can
It'll align properly.
words are so hard.
Man, I need more of this.
Yeah, get you drink some more of
Wow.
that. I'll give you my cup if I can find it. But with that being said, yeah, just again, like everything else, keep it clean and it'll never fail you. Okay,
Nice.
so that is, oh wait, no, wait, there's one more.
There is one more.
All right, let me get this gun out the way here. All right, so now we have the Knight's Armament mount.
Ah,
And this is a pretty nifty mount. It's almost like a mix, I want to say, as far as function goes, it's almost a mix between SureFire and KeyMo. Not at all in actual how it works, it's completely different. But I say that because when you put this on, you have to, of course, line up your bottom notch, just like SureFire. I say bottom notch, this will actually go on the top. So we'll put that on, and you can see the little tab
right.
it lines up
I
on.
thought I saw detent balls inside there.
You did, and I'll show you those in a minute. But you line up your tab, it slides on, then instead of twisting the suppressor on, you just twist the collar.
Okay.
Similar to the SureFire, only the collar rotates.
Okay.
So, and then it goes on just like that. This is another one that has really good return to zero and minimal point of impact shift and stuff like that.
And you can take it on and off by hand.
You can, yeah. So this one, to take it off, you literally just reach up and undo the collar. You just twist it. And if for whatever
Wear
reason...
gloves if it's hot.
Yeah, don't do this when it's... You shouldn't be taking your suppressor off when it's hot anyway.
Yeah.
We did our video about preventing stuck suppressors, goes over that. But there's also flats on here. If for whatever reason it gets seized on here, you can throw something on the flats and...
Sooner or later it'll happen to somebody.
Yeah, and that's just kind of to make this thing grunt proof.
Yeah.
And this suppressor here, this is the MCQ2. And as you can see, there are ball bearings in there, Steve. I'll
Yeah.
show the camera in a minute.
Detent balls.
Yep, these detent balls go all the way around the actual suppressor.
So they're part of the locking system?
They are. So they're loose right now. When I tighten the collar, they are no longer loose.
Right, they're protruding as far as they can go into the interior there.
Yes, and if you look at the muzzle device, there is a recess cut for every one of those balls.
Wow.
And they just go in there and lock up.
Thank goodness for CNC machinery.
Yes, very much so.
That'd be a long operation on a manual.
Yeah, and again, the front of it is a taper type mount, so all your carbon and other junk blowing back through there should be minimal getting into that area. But I mean, some always gets through regardless of the mount you're using.
Right.
Because as things heat up and cool, that thermal expansion lets stuff through. But anyway, that is the Knights Armament. A really good option there. And let me set this gun out of the way. Okay, now we are into our thread-on type. These are still considered, quick attachment methods.
Okay.
But they thread on. And we have what's called Plan B, and then we have Zeno by Dead Air. So I have the Zeno right here, and then I have a Plan B right here, which is still also on a Dead Air can. Both of these are Dead Air cans. But the main difference between these, they both are very, very similar, okay? The Plan B is a little bit shorter, but the Zeno uses a left-hand thread. All right, so that's, if you're looking to like min-max the shortness of your gun, like if you want the shortest possible suppressor mount to keep your gun as tight as you can, Plan B is the way to go, because right here I have a Zeno adapter, and that's how much longer it is than the Plan B.
Okay.
So it is a little bit longer, but I think the Zeno has one advantage over the Plan B, and I'll actually just kind of screw some of these on the guns here, but I'll take the Plan B. To thread it on, it uses a taper lock as well. The threads are behind the taper. You slide it on, and then you just tighten it down.
Okay, so this is dead simple. There's no moving parts.
No, it just threads right on.
Nice.
That's it.
Nice.
So very straightforward there. And then if you want to do something with the Zeno, remember I said it was a left-hand thread. So we are going to thread it on the opposite way. And it screws right on there. All right. So now the interesting thing about this is if you get your suppressor stuck on there and you need to throw a strap wrench or something on here to get it loose, you're turning right, so righty-tighty, right? It's actually righty-loosey.
Righty-loosey.
It'll be righty-loosey, and you can unscrew it, and you can put pretty much as much force as you need to on it without having to worry about unscrewing your muzzle device.
Okay.
Because your muzzle device is righty-tighty, right?
Yeah.
So as you're unscrewing your suppressor, you're tightening the muzzle device.
Man, those guys at Dead Air think of everything.
Yeah, they really figured that one out. And
Wow.
of course, with Plan B, it is not that way. So the Plan B, if you get it stuck on there, you throw a strap wrench on, you run the risk of unscrewing the muzzle device with it. But that doesn't mean you're locked out and can't get it off. You can still get it off. It just requires an extra step. So
Yeah.
but with that, I did say Zeno was a left-handed thread. It is always a left-handed thread, except for the Rimfire.
Okay.
So the Zeno, this is a Zeno Mini, which Dead Air uses on their Rimfire suppressors. This is essentially like it's a Zeno with a right-hand thread.
Okay.
So it just righty-tighty for that.
That thing's super light too.
It is very lightweight.
It's
This is a really cool suppressor.
Yeah.
So this is the RXD 22, and it's the 22 Ti, so it's a very lightweight titanium can with steel mounting hardware. So just a really, really cool setup.
Yeah,
And
it doesn't weigh much, so when you put that on the end of your pistol, you don't even know it.
Yeah, and that's it, Steve. That's my favorite mounts right now at the moment.
At the moment?
Yeah, ask me again next week. I might add one, take away one. I don't know. Who knows? But these are, in all seriousness, these are really great options.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. If you have an option that you like a little better, or you have an issue with one of these options, let us know in the comments. We'd like to hear from you. In the meantime, hit those like and subscribe buttons, and maybe the notification bell too while you're at it. Got anything else to add?
Yeah, if you need help with anything for any reason ever, feel free to give us a call on the tech line. We'll be happy to help you out. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.